for starters, how did you get started on YouTube?
Well, back in this is interesting. I always like to use this as sort of a motivational story for people because back in 2016, I thought, I played video games. Well, what if I started a YouTube channel? Nah, it's probably too much work. You got to make all the videos and the thumbnails. I don't want to do it. Fast forward to 2018, I thought, okay, I have a laptop. I would set it on my lap, use a little lid for a tote. Across my lap is a table,
Hmm.
Blue Yeti microphone, or put the laptop on the kitchen table, do whatever it took. It just made stuff for fun. And about 3 weeks after I started recording, got in a car wreck and I broke
Oh no.
this right here. It's a boxer's fracture. So naturally, having a gigantic cast on your arm makes it hard to record.
I bet.
So I picked up from there. I had a bank of about 12 videos ready to go. I found out another YouTuber around that time that I actually really got along with and who was really pivotal in helping me start my channel.
Hmm.
We've spent stream together and all that. But I say all that to say that it should have been 2016. It was 2018. I started just because it's a game I played. I actually work in broadcasting and have done
Hmm.
freelance voiceover, so I thought YouTube would be a good fit.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you about that specifically because you're in a unique position. You have experience with broadcasting, and not a lot of people have that when they start a YouTube channel or, TikTok or whatever it might be. So do you find that really helps you? Does that separate you from any competition you might have? Do you think that, those skills really, put you on that next level?
I would 100% recommend everyone who does content creation or even a business, even if you're not a YouTuber, to learn the science behind broadcast and microphone, camera, speech. There is a certain way you can communicate with an audience through this medium that's different than maybe in person or something like that. But to have a level of comfort behind a microphone and camera goes such a long way. I cannot stress that enough. The dynamics in your speech, how loud you are, how soft, the inflection of your words, enunciation. Yes, 1,000% yes.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I never really
Love it.
thought of that. Because I've taken some classes, like I took a communications class,
Yeah, yeah.
and it went a long way in little things, not just with YouTube, but also just, like I had to give a speech at my brother's wedding. I was the best man. And, like I felt so much more comfortable going up there,
Oh no,
with that
absolutely.
experience. So,
It helps out so much, and is regarding being in an advantageous position or not. I absolutely think it helps any creator or any business owner because if you think about it, our channels are our businesses.
that's true. That's a
They can
great
be.
point. Yeah. So to go back, I guess in the beginning, was there any channels in particular that really, you looked at and you're kind of like, oh yeah, I could do something like this, or even a channel that kind of motivated you and inspired you, or something like that?
Yep, yep. His name is Big Mac Davis, and he's since become a moderator in my community. We stream together, and we've talked a lot because I'd started before I saw his channel, and when I saw him, I'm like, wow, like this guy is this me? Like his commentary style, the way he played, everything he did was very much like me.
Hmm.
And you'd almost think that I saw him before I started my channel, but it's not true. So it's almost like a fateful moment that I met this guy. And he has actually did my very first shout out to bring me up to 30 subscribers back in May
Wow,
2018.
that's
Yeah, I remember
incredible.
that. I was at the gym. I was lifting. I used to do powerlifting. I checked my
Mhm.
phone and I'm like, where are all these subs coming from? What happened? 30. And
Right.
then I check a video and Big Mac Davis at the start of his video, he's like, and if you like this tutorial, you will like Allstin. Please go check out his channel. It's just cadence he used and everything.
That's so
Right in the middle of a
cool.
workout. Got distracted. But yeah, definitely him because we've since collaborated. And I think that we want to talk about collaborations. The fact that we meshed so well together in the streams and have an audience that is very similar between our channels helped out a lot too.
Yeah. Well,
Perfect.
that's
Couldn't
so
have happened
cool. So
better.
how big was his channel when he gave you that shout out, when you only had like 30 subscribers or whatever?
He's around 50,000, I think now. So 40, 50,000.
Wow, that's so
He's,
cool. That's such a nice connection to have, especially in like the early stages of a
he's,
channel. So,
yeah. And especially too, when you look at where he came from, he has been in the scene for years. He's established a name for himself in different game communities. So to have his backing and have his support his viewers can say like, hey, if Big Mac Davis trusts this guy, maybe I should check him out. So I'm
Right.
just, it worked out so well. And
That's
I think,
awesome. That's awesome. So before we, shift topics from that,
yeah,
I guess the beginning Doom, like I love the game Doom. I think a lot of us grew up playing that game. And it kind of, I mean, let's be honest, it shaped FPS, forever. And
absolutely.
so was there a particular reason you doubled down and you went to Doom, or was it just something that you kind of were just born into it? Like you love the game so much that you knew you could make a channel about it.
Well, I started playing it in the 90s, and I know everyone uses the WASD. I use the arrow keys back then.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, like I grew up on the game, man. And when I wanted to make a YouTube channel, it just fit. I actually
Mhm.
started on a game called Hexen, which is a Doom engine game, and partially because my laptop, let's be honest, it was horrible. It's about the only thing I could play was retro games, and the only thing I
Mhm.
could record, so I did. And
Wow.
what started as just a guy in the kitchen in the bedroom sitting on his bed with a laptop. I have a picture of it too. I could show you. Using a storage tote lid as a table has turned into something that I am very business minded about now. Never would have thought it. Never would have thought it.
That's so cool.